Although I've watched a lot of weird stuff over the years, so who knows?
Nordy likes the weird stuff.
Oh yeah,
Don't worry,
that's
I'll
okay
edit that out.
though.
Maybe. That'll be the intro before the intro.
Yeah.
Well, hello everybody. We're back.
Hi there.
Episode 2. I am Lotto,
I am Nordy.
and we are doing Crunchy Roulette. And this is exciting. I think we had a lot of fun the first time we did the episode 1. That was a lot of fun.
I did have a wonderful freaking time.
Well, we're doing episode 2, so hopefully it wasn't a bad experience. Yeah, that would be probably pretty bad. That sucked. Let's do it again. Yeah, so we're episode 2. Just to kind of reintroduce the whole podcast here. So the idea at Crunchy Roulette is we take an anime randomly chosen from Crunchyroll that we've never seen before, never heard of before in some cases. Definitely this is one of them. We watch a few episodes, we kind of give a feel of what we thought of it, and kind of go from there. This was an interesting one. So
And the rules around the random result to come up is something that we haven't seen, and also something that hasn't been just like sitting around like, oh, I've been meaning to watch that.
So you're saying that Healing Good Pretty Cure wasn't just sitting in your queue? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
You'd think it'd be like a deep spiritual connection with me, but it never felt that way.
Oh, maybe that'll change as we talk through it. Maybe you'll have a revisit for the remainder of the series. So we watched 4 episodes for this one. So we'll have posted links to the Crunchy Roulette or the the Crunchyroll site with the link to the anime in case anyone wants to watch episode 1 through 4. You'll kind of have a better idea of what we are going to be talking about. That's a nice way of saying spoiler alert, you know,
Yeah.
for just in case.
Spoiler alert, episodes 1 through 4 only.
Why don't you kick things off? Why don't you what does the Crunchyroll say about this anime?
All right, so the Crunchyroll synopsis is the secret world of Healing Garden has been healing the earth. One day, villains called biogens attack Healing Garden with the goal to destroy the earth, which is now in big trouble. In order to save Earth, 3 Earth Doctor trainee healing animals escape from Healing Garden to look for their partners. Along with them is Latte, the princess of Healing Garden, who holds a special power. When 3 ordinary girls meet the healing animals, they are transformed into pretty cures in order to face and defeat the biogens. Total episodes 45.
They needed 45 episodes of this to save Earth.
Exactly.
I will tell you that having listened to that again, I already don't want to watch this again. But here we go. Here we go.
But one thing I just noticed in the synopsis is it says latte like the coffee, Latte,
Yeah.
but in the subtitles it always says rate like Rate. I wonder if it meant to be latte in the subtitles because she's like a kind of a tan color like what a latte looks like.
You're talking about the dog, right?
Yes.
The happy sad dog. That
Yeah.
poor
Happy son.
the dog is an
Yeah.
emotional wreck. I feel bad. The first thing we tend to do is just watch the trailer because, we're mental prep and read the synopsis. And the first thing I thought was, this looks like Sailor Moon. This looks like very much like a Sailor Moon type thing. I don't know if you got the same impression or what.
So I never saw Sailor Moon. I of course know of it quite well.
How dare you?
So I believe like this whole style, this whole genre is called like Magica Girl. So this is the first Magical Girl show that I have ever seen.
I'm not sure we can continue this podcast. We're gonna end it here, and we're gonna circle back after you've seen Sailor Moon. You know,
I think it's good to have the lack of perspective and, also just to be honest with the audience, let everybody know that if they're a fan of Magical Girls and there's a deep history behind it, then I am not connected with that history. And I just have to kind of apologize, but then not apologize at the same time.
all right, we can still be friends.
Okay, good. Thank
Apology accepted.
you.
accept your apology on behalf of the anime community. There, we can move on. So I would say that before I watched it, that was the first impression I got was like, okay, this is gonna be some kind of, action-packed, crazy transform thing. And I can see why there's 45 episodes. Let's just put it that way. Not a lot of substance to each
No.
episode.
Well, it's obviously designed for, yeah, 10-year-old girls to sell toys.
I want one of those little ones.
Yeah, exactly. Every single transformation, without fail, there's no skipping over it. They like show how many times to press the button on the wand to like do the different actions, and like every time there's a what do they call it? Mega biogems is the monster the bad guys create. Um,
Mega.
just like that. That's it. Did you do the voice acting on those?
I should have.
Yeah.
Season 2 incoming.
Yeah. Yeah, they had like their special purse and their special freaking stethoscopes that they had to use in order to know where the mega monsters were. So really, it's like half the episode was just like buy our toys, which led me to like hop online and see like how many toys there are for this stuff.
Funny you say that. That's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I'm just browsing eBay and just what have they got here? I didn't even think to look for toys. These are amazing.
It's a lot. Bandai Namco has a ton of these toys online, and it's like everything that you could possibly think of in the show to advertise, they do.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I did think that the wand and like would make for some amazing toys, but I didn't actually look up the toys until just now, and these are some crazy things here. Let's talk storyline here a little bit just before we get into anything else.
Storyline, it's pretty repetitive to say the least. The first four episodes, I was kind of surprised that it took four whole episodes to have the whole team of three, pink, blue, and gold. And I do not remember their names, so I'm going to call them pink, blue, and gold.
That would be Hinata, Chiyu, and Nodoka.
God damn,
Yeah.
you you
I
win that award.
we'll talk super fan stuff later, all right? I'm let's just say I'm in. I'm in. 40 more episodes to go.
Exactly. Um, yeah, it's I think the intro of the anime tells the story in pretty much every anime. Uh, some intros go too far and like spoil the entire season. In this one, I think the intro anime or the intro sequence like tells you what the whole anime is. It starts off with them like hanging out, having fun, going to school, hanging out at the mall, blah blah blah. Monsters come in, they transform and they kill the monsters and everything's fine.
Yes. Damage averted too.
Yeah. Yeah, all damage reverted to what it was like exactly beforehand.
Yeah, they're burning everything down and they're poisoning everything around, and then the second they're killed, like no damage at all. I'm like, what are we doing, guys? What kind of villains are you?
Exactly. That's the healing good.
Yeah.
That's the healing good of the pretty cure. You cure it and then you heal it, and it's back to the way it was. Whether it was a tree, a water pump, or a freaking mall, all better.
All better, all fine.
Yeah.
Everybody survived. So the big bad, King Byogen, who is from another world, and he's got three lieutenants, and the lieutenants' names I don't remember. They were really crazy names. They go one by one for every episode, and then they send out one enemy, and then they fight the enemy, and then the enemy's defeated, and then everything's good. And then the next
Yeah.
episode, and that's how Nodoka she matched up with Rabarin, who is Robin, who is the little pink bunny thing. So that was
Yeah.
like episode one. Like
Exactly. That's the name I know. Little Pink Bunny thing. I remember that.
yeah, we need to find people who resonate with our heart pause. Epic storyline.
That's the mission that they were on.
Yeah. And then they take that same formatting and then Nodoka becomes a pretty cure, and then episode two, Chiyu becomes a pretty cure, and then
Yeah, so it's like the first one is the pink rabbit hooks up with the main girl, who like just moved into town. So they're both, characters moving into the same town at the same time, obviously from different backgrounds. The second episode, main girl, Pink, she was physically weak. As part of the background, first episode, it's like here she was sickly and everything, and now the parents moved over here because it was out of the city, it was more in the countryside, a little more suburbs, so cleaner air, and then the girl was able to run around.
Yeah, that was the first bit of actual like background story that I thought was neat.
Yeah,
Was that Nodoka actually grew up sick in bed. They cut scene with her in the hospital and everything, and they kind of mentioned it in the later episodes. Like everyone cheered her on, she got better, but they don't actually address, at least in the early episodes, like anything beyond that. But it was definitely one of those storyline that you needed. Like, okay, like what's her background? How's her character going to be developing here? Like, what inspires her? And it really just, I want to do this not just for everyone else, but for myself.
yeah, no longer bedridden in
Yeah,
the hospital.
because I can. I want to push myself to my limits.
And the second episode, the rabbit's like, I don't like you. You're not in good shape, so get the hell out of here.
that, was, that was some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that got dark real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the episode, it was courage that was needed all along because when you had the pretty cure powers, you get like superpowered and you can jump 20 feet in the air and
Yeah.
catch trees and boulders and stuff and, punch a 30-foot monster in the face.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that. I'm glad you brought that up because that moment where Nodoka is doing like school PE stuff, jumping around and running, and they see, oh, she's a klutz and she doesn't have any energy, and the bunny basically says like, go fuck yourself. It's like you're not good enough for me.
Yeah.
But they
You
don't
can't hang with the cool kids.
they skip the part like it being out of concern, till like way later in the episode. You're just like
Yeah.
sitting with this information where it's like, okay, that got real dark. That's kind of messed up
Yeah.
thing to do. And then of course eventually they get to the point. It almost feels like the writers were like, oh shit, we should probably write something in that says that you didn't mean it that way.
Yeah.
Like an afterthought. Canceled. We're gonna get canceled.
Yeah.
But
Oh man.
eventually you find out it's out of concern, and they're like, oh well, it's a dangerous job to be a pretty cure, and you don't want her to get hurt.
But she don't care because she's got a heart of gold. That's all that matters.
Apparently, that's all you need to resonate a heart paw. Cool-headed, kind person who really doesn't question talking animals. I think his
Yeah.
we're good with talking
Yeah,
animals.
yeah, the other two were a little more like, what the hell are these things? But Pink was like, this is normal.
It's like
I see. Never made a big deal about like animals that were talking to her.
not until a little later. It was a blip, but yeah, everybody just seemed okay with it. It's talking animals. This is kind of cool.
And of course, no one has said anything about the dog that has a jewel embedded in its forehead. No one's like, what the hell's that?
It's funny you say that because when she took the dog to her parents to like basically say, can we keep it, they never questioned the fact that it had jewelry and anything else on it. They were just like, yeah, sure, it's ours now.
Yeah.
So, it definitely doesn't have an owner. It has a
Yeah.
collar and jewels all over it. So
So what do you think of the art styling on the show as a whole?
it was fine. It was certainly a show. But the outro song animation was a lot
Yeah.
better, and I think that the outro, the J-pop credit song that they have,
Uh-huh.
is the saving grace of the entire anime. I really truly believe that. I think
So I think like they blew their budget on the outro song because they go cheap. Like the whole is just like the cheapest anime you could possibly do. It goes back to the whole thing of like it's here to sell product. So when they're the pretty cure, then they put more effort into it. I mean, obviously, just like Sailor Moon, I'm sure, and every other Magica Girl thing, it's like a transformation sequence that they just like copy paste into every single episode so they never have to redraw it once.
can we get a pretty cure operation out of you?
Yeah.
Pretty cure operation.
No, but you do such a good job that I can't hold the candle to it. I'm too
You're
embarrassed to
gonna
even try.
regret. You're gonna look back at this episode and you're gonna say, "Damn, I wish I had given it my all."
But it was just such a funny contrast of like how exaggeratedly plain the characters were when they were not in the pretty cure form.
Yeah. very, very bright.
What do you think? Like, do you think there's ever going to be any kind of development with any other characters besides the main three?
No. I
Yeah.
I think they're gonna take a very strong cookie cutter approach to this. Maybe a little side character or something or other, but I don't see them adding another Pretty Cure character.
No, no. I mean, you can tell that by the cover of the anime.
Yeah, I really just think they're gonna rinse and repeat for 20 episodes, and then eventually they'll have a big battle. And then at some point, King Byojen will regenerate, and then they'll have a an all-out battle, and eventually the Pretty Cure will win. I mean, how do they not win, right?
Yeah,
Although I would absolutely love to find out if I'm wrong, and that they just lose in the end, and then at that the Byojans take over the Earth.
that'd be wonderful.
I don't know. We'll see how it all turns out after episodes 45. Like I said, I'm all in. I'm a
There
fan.
you
I've got eBay buy now on queue.
go. Oh man.
Do you think like if they would just speed up their transformation, that could save some more lives and maybe save some property? Because I'm pretty sure everything's just burning down while they're doing that.
Well, to the point you made earlier, it doesn't matter because as soon as they do the Pretty Cure operation cleanse, get it all out stuff, and the monster that was summoned dies, whether it's a tree or whether it's a building, just like reverts to how it was, prior to the monster even showing up.
I really just think the whole town is hallucinating and it's some kind of weird experiment by an alien race. If we're making predictions, there's one for you.
Maybe it's the hot springs introduced in episode 3 that everybody goes there, and it's actually like some like secret, acid or mushroom or something that the owners are mixing in with the, Epsom salts.
It's just feeding off their souls little by little.
Yeah.
Eventually they all die and they turn into like the spirits, which turn into Biogens.
Did you know how many other Pretty Cure shows there are?
No, are there more?
Yeah,
Oh my God,
and
I
they're
don't even want to
still
look.
going. They're still going. So I didn't look beyond Crunchyroll, but on Crunchyroll, there's a series that's just called Pretty Cure,
Uh-huh.
that has 49 episodes. Delicious, like Pretty Cure Delicious Party is like ongoing right now. This is how I know about it because I go to Crunchyroll, say what's, new today, and then
Uh-huh.
there's Delicious Party. So as of right now, Pretty Cure Delicious Party has 43 episodes. Healin Good Pretty Cure, as I mentioned, has 45. And then there is Kira Kira Pretty Cure, which has 49 episodes. So the Pretty Cure franchise on Crunchyroll has 186 episodes.
Damn. I have some catching up to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put down One Piece for a while, and I'm gonna have to catch up on Pretty Cure because this sounds amazing.
Yeah.
It's, I didn't realize there was so many. Now I'm thinking it's good. Now I'm thinking like how can something bad be that successful, right?
Exactly. That's a reboot, baby.
Hell yeah.
Did your understanding of like messaging from the show like change at all from episode 1 to episode 4? So basically, in episode 1, with that was really just focused around Pink. She was just going around doing like good Samaritan things, like helping an
Ah,
old lady with groceries, and I was just like, oh, is this whole show just going to be like good moral examples while they advertise these terrible toys? Like that's cool. I mean, cartoons have to be sponsored, but if they like pair that with, like, hey, help an old person cross the street, find someone's cat and help them out. Like,
yep.
there's a bunch of cool stuff, but then that kind of like faded away, and then with episodes 1 through 3, the biogens were all coming from like either trees or flowers or natural hot springs. So I was like, oh, is it like an environmental message? But then episode 4 was like, oh, here's this biogen that comes out of a mirror in the mall, helps save the mall. I'm like, oh. You have to work hard to save the things you love. And then they're like,
I think they were implying the people, but
yeah. Oh, they were showing shots. They were like, here's a tree and then here's a mall. Save them.
you know what? I really think that you are a secret super fan here because I
Yeah.
didn't get anything like that out of this anime. No, the first episode, she was doing good things and gets married. I just thought they were just building her up to be a good person for like, oh yeah, she's totally gonna be worthy of being a pretty cure. I didn't think about it as from the political aspect. So my hat's off to you, man. You let me know when you binge watch the 150 episodes so we
Yeah.
can we can talk again because I think this might require a follow up.
We'll do a separate podcast just called Pretty Cure, a deep dive into each episode.
Leave a comment for if you want us to do that, because I think at this point we're secret fans. All jokes aside, this is turning out to be an awesome anime.
Since you're the expert between the two of us on Sailor Moon, how does it compare with Sailor Moon?
I don't know that you can compare them. They have a similar aesthetic, but they don't really follow the same storyline. Sailor Moon does have a much deeper storyline, although it still has like a big bad, and it still has like the lieutenants that are like helping support it, and then it does take longer to get the different Sailor Scouts together and all that stuff. So I think ultimately the end game was the same. They wanted it to be
Hmm.
similar, but you can't compare. Sailor Moon was good. I don't know how else to put it. This one is I think I need another 150 episodes to really answer that question.
I'd be surprised if it goes anywhere as far as like storyline. It seems like there might be something where they do something with a family, like a family gets kidnapped or something, like they find out the everyday origins of the people and like, oh, they have, other people.
Now you're
Maybe there's
talking.
going to
All
be a
right.
threat at some point, but as
Yes.
that's not hinted at in the intro. The intro is just like, hey, they are hanging out and going shopping. Oh, there's monsters. Oh, transform. Oh, kick their ass.
So you're
So
saying that they're not gonna annihilate half the town, burn down the other half, and then the pretty cures are losing limbs and going through
yeah.
emotional distress.
As it turns into Ninja Scroll.
Telling you, dark influences.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that this show did make me appreciate is the spoof characters that they do on like One Punch Man. You have the pretty prisoner, and now it makes a lot more sense. Now I finally see the original material that it's doing the satire from.
There you
Makes the
go.
characters much more entertaining now.
So watch more anime is really what it comes down to, as we always say, right?
Exactly.
Just you never
Exactly.
know when you're gonna need to know something from another anime to understand a different one. Now you can fully appreciate One Punch Man, right? It was a terrible anime before, but now it's just amazing because you,
Yeah.
having
Exactly.
watched Healing Good Pretty Cure, has really just made the anime.
Yeah. Purely trying to understand that comparison. I didn't care about anything else, but now I do. So.
Nice, nice. I don't know how much of the music you really absorbed. I went back and listened to like some of the music during the battle scenes. Aside from the credit
Oh,
song,
really?
the credit song was amazing. It was super fun. Just like it was basically choreographed J-pop music video credit song. It's just dancing pretty cares. It's a catchy song too.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
I usually skip credits and stuff, and I was like, this is actually a catchy song. I'm just gonna like let it
Yeah.
play.
Well, I do, for the sake of the show, I do make myself watch the whole ending, but
Well, yeah, but I tend to skip it after the first time.
right. Oh, you're watching it every
I
time.
watch it every time. I was like, yeah. And then then at the end they do the little, telling you, I'm all in on this credit scene. It's amazing. For anybody listening, if you don't go back and watch anything but the credit scene, fine.
This,
Like that's
yeah.
fine. Um, but the reason I bring up the music is the music is actually pretty decent. Like it nice riffs, some good sort of metal-esque
Wow.
type sound during the battle scene. You definitely should go back after you finish watching the 150 episodes and go go listen to the music, the OST, the original soundtrack, Pretty Cure. Yes.
Is that on eBay too? Did you find it?
No, but I will definitely be making that an action item for the end of this.
Oh man, so clearly you like it so far.
I don't hate it. Let's. There's. I think that there's honestly a fine line between like and don't hate it, and I am walking that line right now. I think 150 episodes is probably a bit too much to consider as a commitment. If this were like a 20 episode series, I promise you I would go back and watch it all. But 45 for just this season is probably a bit too much. I may splash in an episode here or there when I've got time to kill.
Well, then you're just gonna like fast forward to the ending to watch like a CGI J-pop.
100%, 100%.
All right, cool.
You watch the episode to get to the credit. You have to earn your way to the credit scene. It's the dessert at the end of the episode.
Yeah. Do you think any of the voice actors were trying?
We're trying. I, I, I'll be honest. I did not overthink like the voice acting or anything like that. It was fine. There wasn't anything. So what was nice about this was there wasn't any characters that I thought were just obnoxious, which happens a lot. Sometimes there's
Really?
just an obnoxious character, and I'm just like, I hate this person, which is an aggressive thing to say about an anime.
Yeah. I thought Gold was pretty obnoxious. The one who finally got her powers on episode 4.
Oh, she was the best. Oh,
She was
that was
the
that was
best.
she was my favorite.
It was a bit much.
You just aren't a super fan like I am, so
Yeah.
your say doesn't count.
And her outfit makes it look like she's wearing a diaper because it's like a big poof ball.
It's meant to look like a dandelion, okay? It's like a flower.
Are you sure? Because
I have no idea. That was just my attempt at defending her. How dare you attack
what's her name?
Hinata?
Oh, okay.
All right, so
Oh,
clearly you're not going to go back and watch this,
no, no, not even for the music videos.
and you're not going to go on eBay and buy any of the toys.
If I predict that they'll be very valuable in the future, no.
You still wouldn't.
Even then, no.
Even as a speculation, you wouldn't buy the toys.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair. All jokes aside, I probably will not go back and watch most of this. I am very curious to know what happens in the next episode.
Really? And there's no more characters to introduce.
I know, which is now they can really get into the storyline because they had the whole. You see, we spent the first half of this podcast saying there's no story, but the reality is they had to develop characters for the first 4 episodes. So I just got to know, it's an addiction now. What's gonna happen? Do they finally save the Earth?
It says awkward moments at the aquarium. That's the
That's the next
next
episode.
episode title.
So you're saying you don't want to know what happens at the aquarium?
I'm good.
So if you had to give this a rating, what kind of rating would you give this?
I'd say 5 hoodlum biogens hanging out at the mall.
5. Damn.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be quite the battle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this 10 out of 10 mega. Loved it.
Oh, love it. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Hell yeah.
Any closing thoughts on this one?
What's gonna happen to Nordium Lotto next?
Got it. Okay, sounds good. I don't think anyone's wondering that at all. Sounds good. Well, as always, appreciate everybody coming along for the ride.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
That is Crunchy Roulette. Like, subscribe down below, leave a comment. Any suggestions? We always love taking those.
Yeah, any weird stuff, oddball stuff that hopefully is playing on Crunchyroll would be just greatly appreciated.
Right on. Well, again, thank you, everybody. This has been Crunchy Roulette, and we'll catch you next time.
Watch more anime.
Yes, and watch more anime. Yeah.
Bye.